Hi people, it's Sarkovist here coming at you with yet another top 5. It's that time of year again where all the games seem to come out at once. November is probably the best month to be a gamer, as many of the year's biggest releases arrive just before the holidays. So in this top 5 list I'll be going through some of the most anticipated games coming out this November. Please however keep in mind that this list does not reflect the actual quality of these games, as the choices are based purely on pre-release information and testing. I'd recommend waiting for actual reviews before placing any pre-orders.
Number 5.
Call of Duty is coming out again this year. Again. Like last year. And the year before that. And the year before... well, you get the idea. This time perhaps in something of a twist, I'm not anticipating the next Call of Duty game because I can't wait to get my hands on it. Instead, I'm curious to see how developer Sledgehammer deal with the franchise. They've worked with this series before, but this time around they are playing a much bigger role. I have to say that I'm very interested to see if they grant this series some originality or end up sending it to its grave. In this particular case, it's important to remember that anticipation doesn't necessarily have to be positive. You can anticipate a punch, but it doesn't mean you're going to enjoy it.
Number 4.
Warlords of Draenor makes my list for two key reasons. First of all, after a fair amount of time in the beta, I have seen a lot of remarkable things that this expansion has to offer. It's a lot easier to have faith in a game that you've already spent some time with prior to release. The second reason is getting to see whether or not this expansion will revive the MMO from its slow decline in subscriber numbers. I doubt the game will ever go back to Wrath of the Lich King in terms of popularity, but perhaps it could at least promote some growth.
Number 3.
Far Cry 4 makes the list because of Far Cry 3. Pre-release gameplay footage seems to suggest that the game is structurally very similar to its predecessor, and I count that as a very good thing indeed. I'm also a big fan of the setting. The Himalayan open world isn't something we're used to in shooters, so it should be a lot of fun to explore. Also, it doesn't hurt that the graphics look pretty sweet.
Number 2.
I'll just say right away that I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. If Ubisoft had announced that Unity was taking place in a desert, I'd still probably be excited, but thankfully I don't have to rely solely on my blind love for the series, as the French Revolution seems like a perfect setting for Assassin's Creed. We also know that the game will feature co-op, where you have to work together with other assassins to take out key targets.
It's number 1.
Normally I'm a bit skeptical about re-releases, but in the case of GTA 5 I can make an exception. Last year I remember thinking that GTA 5 was a perfect game in all but one respect. The graphics were admittedly a little dated. It looked great considering it was running on aging hardware, but by today's standards it looks as if it could use a facelift. So with the game being released onto current gen hardware, this one small but notable weakness can be rectified. Also, considering GTA 5 for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is a re-release, it's fair to say the game will at the very least be great, and at the most incredible. These were the games that I'm anticipating most this November, but what are yours? Perhaps you're really looking forward to LEGO Batman 3, or maybe something else less well known. Let me know in the comments below. As always people, thanks very much for watching and see you next time.